Aloha, everyone, and welcome to Java. Thank you for joining me on this Wednesday. It is for November 21st, 2023, and tomorrow is a Thanksgiving holiday in the United States. So markets are closed there. So for today, I expect kind of a quieter day in the trading, but I've got a few things that I really want to go over with you today. I think they're pretty interesting. So the sentiment right now is lower volume. It's kind of a medium risk, kind of quiet, knowing that it's going to be closed tomorrow. I'm staying out of it completely. I would rather kind of, rest a little bit and recover. So I want to move on a little bit with some of the indicators of the real economy and what's actually going on. So we've got oil right now, who's saying it's steady in pre-Thanksgiving trade ahead of OPEC plus cuts. So what they're talking about is still continuing to restrict the supply to keep the price up. So the United States and Western world trying to sanction Russia at $60 a barrel, and it's still holding above that. So this is inflationary in the longer term, and especially with the market turning up, it's going to create more inflation down the road. So second story is this is talking about Asian stocks, but the other side of it is that the dollar sell-off is going easier. So basically, the dollar's getting stronger, which will also put a bit of pressure on stocks for the moment, but will also be longer term. This is going to be inflationary with the Asian stocks. So the third indicator is the U.S. home sales. So those are slumping to 13-year low, but I expect those to some sales will start to kick in as the mortgage rates are dropping. Not a lot, still a lot of headwinds there, but for the moment they're going to kind of steady out for a little bit, I think, through the holidays. So with this holiday short week, we did have the Fed minutes and some earnings come out that created volatility yesterday. But really what I want to move on is more of this. I think it's really a distraction. The OpenAI in particular, artificial intelligence stories about Sam Altman being the president. But what I find really interesting is how he has come back with quote unquote the board, but a different couple of people on the board. One, none other than Larry Summers. For those of you that are not familiar with who he is, he used to hold the position currently held by Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary. So I find this very interesting that now he wants to be on the board with this group. And I've got more about her in a moment with something else. But anyway, the other side of this is a leaked email. And we were just talking about this yesterday. Amazon has big plans for AGI. So they're new coining term. But what they're talking about is artificial general intelligence. And they want to build this product into basically Amazon, their services. And we are already talking about how they've got Amazon Web Services in between Alexa, Blink, um, home doorbells, cameras. They're collecting massive amounts of data and really not being regulated at all. So I think that's a little trouble down the road. Want to keep our eye on Amazon about that for several fronts because they're also collecting purchasing and order information. So, a little bit about what's going on with these exchanges. Also, this is in cryptocurrency on the other side. So, the SEC is giving Binance a hard time. They are an exchange, kind of like a bank for cryptocurrency, but they're one that's been going on for a while. But they just got slapped with a huge fine. And with this going on with the CEO, they're basically flooding Russia. People have pulled their money out. They're afraid, and their liquidity, they're saying, has dropped more than 25% to where it was this same time yesterday. So, what is this all about? They're accusing the Binance CEO of uh, basically saying that they allowed groups like Hamas and ISIS receive funds. And this is the Treasury Department, Janet Yellen, accusing them of allowing cryptocurrency to get in the hands of these terrorist funds. So This is coming from basically the same people who just left millions of dollars worth for the Taliban, not to mention any of the other countries funding Ukraine and all of that, all of those weaponries and money getting into the hands of the same people. Anyway, the cover story is that so they are punishing him. Really, what they're doing is they're pressuring down the number of exchanges. And as I was talking about coin before, part of the SEC's approval for these spot tradings, the ETFs, and everything moving forward, they are going to require an exchange, that they choose an exchange. So this is kind of an elimination process going on here. So they're talking about how corrupt Binance is. And in the same headlines, banking excuses wearing thin as fines top up to $200 billion. And why? Admitted criminal conduct. So some of these very people accusing him have committed financial crimes. So it's just incredibly hypocritical. We know that's not what it's about. It's really, really getting insulting. So, on another story, we've got investors pouring cash back into US corporate debt. They're betting that the Federal Reserve is going to start cutting right now, and money has to go somewhere. So, this would flow possibly out of stocks, but they're putting more money into corporations. And it's not, I don't think it's ready quite yet, but we'll see what happens here. And then the one other thing that I have been talking about also is Palantir. So Palantir also is kind of the artificial intelligence programming with Peter Thiel, and they have been the military side, if you will. So now they've got a contract with NHS for health, and they're going to have all of the medical health data, and they're talking about doing all of this DNA stuff on the other side. Not going to go into that too much because I really want this video to get out. So, with that, just some interesting stories for you to think about over the holiday. I want to wish you all a happy Turkey Day. And do, if you're going to be traveling, especially air travel, check out that video. I think it's like a minute, and I left it very clean. So it's a video you can share, and you can pretend that you have no idea that I'm a crazy conspiracy theorist. Share it out with your family. And one last thing is that I am so incredibly thankful for all of you. I appreciate you so much. So until I see you again, my friends, and I will be taking tomorrow off basically from this, so I won't be putting out a video, but I will see you Friday. So until then, my friends, stay free.